Hi there, and welcome to today's Proper Golfing podcast with me, Joe Cameron, and
Julian Mellor.
Yeah, and we're joined today by Emlyn Evans, who runs a very large family-owned business. Yeah,
nice to be here.
Welcome to the show. And he's here today because we are going to be launching a new series on YouTube, which is the Pro versus CEO. So you're going to be coming on the challenge, aren't you?
Can't wait.
So
I can't wait. I'm always a bit of competitive spirit against Julian.
Yeah, exactly. So all these people that are really good in business, we're going to take them on the golf course and see what happens. But so coming up on the show, so join today, Ryan. And coming up on the show, we are going to be talking about all interesting stuff. The other day we did a really nice piece of film with Rich Logue.
We did. Who's Ross Fisher's caddy?
Who's Ross Fisher's caddy? Yeah.
Some really interesting stuff that came out of that, Joe.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So we're going to give you a little sneaky preview today because the film will be live on YouTube on Monday, won't it? But so we've got a nice little skinny.
There's a bit of skinny on the inside track of a tour pro, and some of the things they can't forget.
Yeah, I know. So coming up on the show, there's some little leaks of that. And then our year in focus this week is 2002, because fella here is a bit younger than us. So if we thought we went back to the 90s, he might not be.
Doesn't look like it.
And then of course we've got to talk about the Ryder Cup.
We have to mention
as well, year of focus, and then we've got the weird golf rule, which is what we normally do every week. So
which we don't know.
Got a lot of you don't know.
I got it wrong.
I know.
This time.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I can't say I blame you really because they are a bit weird. So, Rich Logue, tell us about it then.
Rich Logue, great
So tell us about the little first golden nugget.
I didn't know this. Two things. In a week's worth of caddying, 100 kilometres they walk. That's quite a lot, isn't it? And every 1,000 feet of elevation, you gain 2% extra distance on your golf shots. So in Switzerland, where they play, they're gaining 10% extra distance on all their golf shots.
Wow, that's a proper
known as the Caddies Graveyard.
You're absolutely right. Oh, do you know what? I absolutely love this. It was really, really interesting guy. Honestly, we could have gone on for days. In fact, we could have gone back next week.
We probably will. We probably
honestly.
will.
But the questions that we asking him, when you think, oh right, this is not very interesting, you go, that's a really interesting question, isn't it? Yeah, so he's now caddies for Ross Fisher, but he's also caddy for like Hugh Grant.
He did.
Very
Robert Rock.
Robert Rock,
James Morrison, I believe, as well. So,
yeah, I know,
yeah, great caddy.
So that film's coming up next week. But the year in focus is 2002. Yeah. So randomly selected, I have to say. So it was the year after 9/11. So it was the year that the Ryder Cup was at the Belfry.
It was at the Belfry.
But it shouldn't have been in 2002.
Should have been in 2001, and I have a dozen balls here, if you'd like to purchase them, from 2001, when it never actually happened, and they're still in the cellophane. So I can't get rid of them, Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are actually trying to sell them?
Yeah.
Never
in a million years.
They make a great auction prize.
Not unless you took my first.
Do you know what? We moved into our own academy in February, and they have been on the shelf since then. And it's only today, really, that I've actually
know what they are.
Yeah, that I actually know what they are.
Yeah, I don't want to tell anybody they're special.
Well, I was going to say,
well, everybody knows now.
Somebody might nick them.
Set the alarms.
Yeah.
But 2002, what else was going on at the Ryder Cup at the Belfry then?
Well, we won.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we won.
But we did win quite nicely again, which was awesome. And 2002, some other things happened in the golfing world, which I found really interesting. Is Annika Sorensen played in the first PGA tournament. Yeah. So like a men's tournament. So she was the first lady to play in that, which was good. And Michelle Wee, who some of you may or may not know, qualified for a ladies PGA Tour event at the age of...
Go on, have a guess.
17.
12.
12.
So she's quite good at 12 years old.
So how old are your boys?
So 6 and 8.
So they'll be on tour soon.
You've got 6 years.
We've got 4 years.
We've got retirement plans, may as well start now.
Sign them up then, get them in. What were you doing in 2002 then?
I had graduated from university the year before, and I had gone to work for James Dyson.
That is a pretty iconic visit. If you don't know Dyson, right, everybody in the UK probably knows Dyson, but if you're outside the UK, he basically
around the world now.
he revolutionised vacuum cleaners.
Well said.
I know.
Well done, Joe. I was ready to pick you up on that.
I did want to say Hoover, vacuum cleaners. He did actually do that, didn't he?
He did. He took Hoover to court. Yeah, and
Yeah, I know. That was amazing.
Well done.
Do you know what? He's now branched out, hasn't he? So he now does hair straighteners and hand dryers,
air conditioning.
I mean, what did you learn about business from him then? I mean, you were young then. We know that.
Yes, young whipper.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really appreciate, but looking at the time, obviously you don't necessarily, but looking back on it, it was a business that was going through a lot of growth pains.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they hadn't cracked the US market. They were just going to the US, which was going to either make or break them, and they were also going to Malaysia to do the production, which at the time they were all about UK.
Right.
And at the time, it was a big step for them to take production out of the UK and go to Malaysia. But if they didn't do that, they wouldn't have been able to crack the US market because they wouldn't have been able to keep with supply. So, but inherently in that business at the time, there were so many frustrations. There were massive quality issues, which they dealt with really good customer service for that. They had finance issues. Everywhere you looked, they were growing, and it was growing at such a pace. It was just creating loads and loads of problems all the way along. So scalability, I think, the biggest learning point was when you're scaling, about making sure you're getting the various blocks in place to allow you to scale up. So it was brilliant. To work with James, I was in the James Dyson, yeah. So although I wasn't on the engineering side, which is obviously still is very engineering led, it was good to sort of see him in person and appreciate how he managed to get his concept of the vacuum into the marketplace, because he was so obstinate, really tenacious, had a vision, had a passion,
and it was more expensive than everything else.
It still is as well, isn't it?
Well, look at the garish colours. Look at the fact that you're seeing your dust.
Yeah.
Look at all of that. I mean, that was amazing. Like, how am I going to crack that market? And it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to work with him, you could try and convince him with all of your logic, all of your market research, but actually, fundamentally, if he believed he wanted to do something, he always fell back on the fact that he took a vacuum with all of those downsides and made it the success that it is.
Yeah.
So it's sort of hard to argue against it.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit like Apple and things like that, where they almost give us something that we don't realise we need. And that is the difference between that level of entrepreneurialism.
Do you know what I think it's like? It's when they started first launching coffee shops really in the UK. And I can't remember the name of the lady. I think it might have been Coffee Republic, but she started selling coffee at £3.50 a cup, and like they didn't sell anything for like weeks. And everybody said, "No, you'll never sell coffee at £3.50 a cup." Now, like everywhere, everybody buys £3.
Yeah, it's mega, isn't it? We still don't believe that on a high street you could have, 20 coffee shops in a small town.
Yeah, and in our Leamington Spa. Have you never been to Leamington Spa? What a Leamington Spa? It's full of coffee shops. So what else from Rich then? What the behind the stuff? Without giving too much away.
I asked him a great question. I thought it was a great question.
Yeah.
If a caddy was to forget one piece of equipment, what would be the worst piece of equipment to forget? What would you think?
A pencil.
A pencil. I thought it was going to be a towel. Because you've got to keep everything clean, haven't you? It's actually an umbrella.
Okay.
Pros do not like getting wet. You don't like getting their equipment wet.
That really annoys them.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have some really interesting chats, didn't we, about pros playing in the rain? But like I say, you go and watch the full video.
Yeah,
but the other thing that happened in 2002, the Queen Mother died. Oh my life! I know. And here's the other little interesting fact for you: that it took an average of 12.5 minutes to download a song. Imagine that now with your kids or your grandkids. Oh, hang on a minute, it's going to take 12.5 minutes to download the song.
What do you mean I can't have it now?
They'd have been off and running then, wouldn't they? But apparently in 2002 as well, at Moorfield, I can never say that. Tiger Woods had his worst round ever.
Is that right? I think that's where Ernie Els won a 3 or 4 person playoff. Won the Open Championship. Yeah, pretty good golfer, big easy.
Okay, so let us know what your interesting facts are about 2002. Where were you? What were you doing? If it's legal to share it, really. We don't want any old stuff on there, do we?
Yeah.
So, weird golf rules.
Oh, right, okay.
Did you see that?
No, I wasn't really reading it.
Okay.
Good
Here we are. Here's a little test of the weird golf rules, okay? It's the flying insect rule.
All right.
Oh, sounds good, yeah.
So if the player's ball lies in
Sorry,
a house...
before we go over, these are all in whatever the rule book of golf
this
is.
Proper. This is rule
Golf.
13 to... Let me put my glasses on.
Oh, so you've got a number. No,
Yeah, it's rule 13-4C. So it's not... I hope it's real. I hope nobody's made it up. Anyway, the flying insect rule.
Right.
You're trying to look at it. If the player's ball lies in a hazard, the insect is considered to be in the hazard and the player may not touch or physically remove the insect from the ball.
Right. So you can encourage
Then
it
what?
to leave your golf ball, surely. So you can get your T-peg and try and nudge it without touching the golf ball.
Or you could lie on the floor and blow it.
So what happens if it doesn't come off the golf ball then? I think you just go whack it.
What are you going to do?
Kill the
With
insect.
what?
With a T-peg, you just kind of nudge it off, don't you? And just,
Is that what you do? Is that what you do?
yeah. Yeah, or a pen.
What would you do?
Or
You're
stab
going
it.
to lie down and...
Tell you what I do, I'd lie and blow it.
Yeah, but you might move your
Or
golf
suck
ball.
it.
What would you get?
You might
Oh,
move
yeah.
your golf ball.
Okay.
How long
That'd be
would you
too
get?
short-handed. Seconds. Just kill it.
No, but how
Just
long would you
hit it.
get?
I've actually once killed a butterfly when I hit my drive, and the butterfly was right in front of my golf ball, and it splattered the butterfly, and it was still on the ball when it landed. Poor butterfly.
You won't go to heaven.
I
You won't
won't.
go to heaven. Well, yes. So actually, yeah.
What is
As the insect is inanimate, that's
Good
fine,
word.
inanimate, yeah, and capable of moving on its own, the player may take action, such as waving your hand, a club or a tap. Woo! Woo! Can you just move?
Give it a prod.
Ooh, little butterfly, can you just move out of the way?
You can imagine if it was a grasshopper or something. I get that.
Yeah, just
something-
hit it.
Yeah,
They're quite soft, aren't they?
yeah.
They'll be alright.
Yeah.
They're
So
good
if the
things,
player's
though.
ball lies in the hazard, the insect is considered to be in the hazard. Oh no, I mean some rules. The other week we had a rule like, what if your ball?
Lands in a piece of fruit.
Well, what if your ball lands in the clubhouse?
Yes, that was a good one.
Imagine if it lands in a piece of fruit in the clubhouse with an insect on it. That's far too confusing.
There's
Isn't it?
a chance.
So anyway, your business. Let's go back to that then. So one of my favourites. Well, it's not my favourite. Well, it's sort of the most
This is
memorable
sad.
stories.
I think it's your
Because-
favourite story.
Yeah, well, our new series, as I say, coming up on YouTube is Pros versus CEOs. So we're going to take these, you know, I was going to say
Hot shots.
Hot shots.
business hot shots onto the golf course and see how they perform on the golf course. But yeah, the most memorable story about you is overnight you lost a whole year's crop.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened.
Well, I don't want to sound like a poor farmer,
But-
which I'm at risk of sounding. So I'm
yeah,
caveating it with that.
Yeah.
But the nature of farming is such that obviously we're beholden to weather, out of our control. But it does play a major part of our annual cycle.
Yeah.
So there are years from time to time where the weather really does play against you. And in this particular year, I remember it was quite a few years ago. My brother took me up to the field and said, right, we've still got oilseed rape standing in the field. It's now hailing. The oilseed rape is ready to cut. We can't cut it because obviously it's wet. And we went up to the field, stood there, and this hail was coming down pretty hard, and all we could do is see all the pods of oilseed rape just shattering because they're brittle and ultimately they're dead. They've been sprayed off, and you just look at your field and you can literally just see it turning white, not because of the hail, but because the inside of the pods are just shattering, and you're seeing the inside of the pod. So all you're doing is you're just looking at all this seed falling onto the floor. So it's tens of thousands of pounds. You're just watching go. It's an anomaly.
So did you stand
It doesn't-
there watching it? I mean, like, if that was you, would you stand there watching it, or would you turn your back, or would you just go to the pub?
I was more fascinated to see it because you couldn't do anything about it,
Oh man.
and you sort of think to yourself, that's a sort of classic. We just get on with it, and
I know, yeah, but farmers have got that mentality. So,
Tough.
how much was it worth, do you reckon?
I mean, I don't know what the acreage we were growing in that particular area at the time, but it could easily have been
$500,000?
sort of. I don't know how much, but I think it could have been. Probably more likely would have been that six figures of some sort, so 100, 150.
You know what? Yeah.
But
It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money, and it's not even just the money. It's the fact that for the entire year, you have prepared the ground, you've drilled the ground, you've sprayed it multiple times, you've looked after it, you've done everything you do, and then within about 2 minutes, you lose the whole lot.
Honestly.
Jesus. That's tough, guys. That is
tough.
So,
I mean, you play golf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you get more upset when your ball goes in the water than that?
Well,
I don't know. You're very calm, aren't you? I think.
I think you sort of have to realise that the stuff that you can't control, you really can't do anything about.
Yeah.
Golf, you can't
Outside
control, I guess.
influences.
You can get more frustrated with
Well,
golf.
now in the Ryder Cup, you know, there was a few noises
Oh yeah,
and a few
let's talk
people
about the
been put
Ryder
off.
Cup. Yeah.
You know, that player didn't deserve to be put off, but he was ultimately put off. So yeah, it was what's called outside influences. But yeah, there's some that you can control, some that you can't. But not nice when things go wrong. So on a rule of golf, and it wasn't an outside influence, but it did affect me in quite a bad way, is I was about 18, 19, hadn't got a penny, won a competition, shot a 65, played great. It was £500 first prize, went to go and collect first prize because I won it quite easily, didn't sign my scorecard, disqualified. No money, you can't have any of it. So that's like, I've done really well, played really well, I've done all the things, hadn't signed. I got too excited.
See, Andrew's more distressed by that than watching the racing go down the swanny.
That's what
you
we
can't
thought
break-
it was.
I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, Julian.
Yeah, it was horrible, horrible. Because I was like, oh, and first prize, it's not you.
Well, you assumed you were going up to collect your £500.
Oh yeah, I won it.
And then what do? Do they show you and say, sorry?
There's your scorecard, and it's got your signature on
It's
it.
a bit like.
By the way, I've never done it again.
You've never done it again.
What a great
That's a
name.
bit like in the UK we used to. I mean, you remember this if you're in the UK, but we used to have this show called Bullseye, where they used to like play darts to win prizes, and there was the show host on that was hilarious, wasn't he? Because like if you
Ted.
didn't win, he'd go, "Oh, and look what you could have won."
That's true. Very good, Joe.
That was me.
Yeah. Look what you could have won. You could have won like a boat, a caravan,
That's right,
like
yeah.
£500,000 or something. And they were stood there like heartbroken, weren't they?
Yeah.
They hadn't won anything on bullies and
Bullies.
I think you
Bullies.
Bully special prize.
What you
And they had the snorting ball coming out. Yeah.
Oh, let us know if you've ever been on Bullseye and you're one of
Or-
those people that didn't win.
Or if you've had this distressing story like we've got. Jo hasn't got one yet. She'll come up with one in the
No,
next
there's far
one,
too
so-
many in my life. My whole life was one big distressing episode.
So a little bit about Ryder Cup, Jo.
Well, I mean, we did have a Ryder Cup
So what-
hangover, and I say Ryder Cup hangover. I don't mean from like drinking too much. I just mean a Ryder Cup hangover, didn't you? Like the
Yeah.
next day, you were just like wandering around like a zombie. It was pathetic.
So I've just been coaching Al from
Canada.
Canada. It's come over
So
from
we did that,
Canada.
didn't we?
It's
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Stayed at
Did I
Mellor
say
Court
that?
just over there.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah.
So Al said, did you watch any of the Ryder Cup? I said, don't think I missed any. Oh, I love the Ryder Cup, don't I? I didn't think I was going to get into it. I didn't think we were going to win. In fact, I thought we were going to get thrashed. No, we didn't get thrashed.
I know,
Until
but-
the first day. And then things just flipped completely.
I did get a little bit excited, if I'm honest. It's nice though when you're winning, isn't it? But I wanted it to be a competition at the end, but not. It got a bit too close for comfort, and then in the end it all turned out.
I think I left the living room once, didn't I? When you were watching it, and I went, "Am I missing anything?" My God, you are! It's a Ryder Cup. I was like, "Whoa, okay." I'm only just like nipped to the kitchen.
Oh.
It's incredible, but for the first time in golf, you get this amazing atmosphere built on these golf courses that are built and designed for the Ryder Cup, which has other questionable elements to it, doesn't it? As to why we're doing that. But the idea that you can create a stadium
on a golf course.
on a golf course is phenomenal.
It is the Wembley of England. I don't know what it is, what the equivalent is in. It's got to be what is it in football in America? American football, the bowl.
Yeah,
Bowl, yeah.
I mean, it's that sort of atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what I love about the Ryder Cup, Jo, is they're not playing for money.
Yeah,
They're playing for pride, and they seem to fight even harder for pride.
Yeah.
And I don't. They're all very wealthy people. They don't need a few extra quid, do they? But the fact that they're out there giving it some. And did you see the bus on the way home when they won? Some of the songs on the bus, unbelievable.
They posted it on their actual feed, didn't they, on Instagram?
And all that stuff. Yeah,
Very good.
Awesome.
I bet they were in bed for a few days afterwards, weren't they?
No, they're out there. They're playing in fact, Richard's in Scotland, the Caddy, up at St Andrews for the big tournament. So he's out there caddying for, there'll be a few sore heads after that as well, I bet.
I was just thinking about the Ryder Cup until Hatton. It was that little viral video going around with the swear off.
Funny.
But Rich was telling us a bit of Inside Skinny as well, wasn't he? So you're going to have to watch the films about.
On Tyrrell.
Yeah.
You've got to listen to that. It's interesting.
Inside Skinny.
Really
And what people eat and don't eat. That was quite weird.
I think Jesper Parnevik, who you may or may not know, was famous for eating.
Don't say it.
Oh,
Don't say it.
you're cruel.
Don't say it.
You're cruel.
Anyway, that was weird what he was famous for eating, wasn't it? But
I don't know anybody else who's done that.
But anyway, coming up, like I say, on our YouTube channel, something different for us. So next one is about Rich Logue, isn't it? And That's Nice Skinny. And then we're going to do conversations with caddies. You liking that?
Conversation, yeah. So if there's any tour caddies out there who fancy joining us on a YouTube channel, that'd be great. We've got some people to contact anyway, haven't we? Who would you like to see? I want to hear your stories.
Yeah, so they are fascinating. So it's conversation with caddies, and then of course we've got the CEO versus the pro.
Yeah, sounds good. That does.
So we're going to play. I'll help the CEOs a little bit. Then we're going to have a little competition at the end. So we'll take some of that money.
Wipe that smile off his face.
Wipe the smile off his face. So they're all coming up. But before we go, a little bit of fun for you, right? You just have to guess. This is laugh or cry.
Laugh or cry. Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. So what are the rules?
You just got to do. You see how scared he looks.
Well, it's competition. You get into competition. It's fight or flight, and we're on the blocks.
Right.
Come on then.
It's dead easy. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
What sort of tea?
Mint.
I hate tea.
Mint.
I'm allowed that, aren't I?
That's a bit posh, isn't it?
That's
not your watch of tea, is it?
I know what about mint leaves. Has that thrown you?
I actually think you've been done there, Joe.
I would never put you down as a peppermint tea man.
Well, no, because I tend not to drink tea, caffeine. I'm sort of decaf, so it's easier to go for something with a
mint
tea.
Okay. Beach or grass? Like beach or forest?
Good question.
Beach.
Where's the best beach you've ever been?
Oh, up in Scotland on the Western Isles. Yeah, near Arran.
Do you know, I thought you might say forest because I've just remembered about where you went on your expedition. More on that another time. Where was it you went? I was getting mixed up.
We didn't go in the forest.
It wasn't the forest.
No, I know it wasn't a forest, but I was just thinking cold.
Oh yeah. No, but I like beach because.
No, where did you go?
Oh, to the North Pole.
Oh, you just fly to the North Pole.
As you do.
That's why.
Bloody cold there.
That's why I thought you might choose it.
That's why you chose the beach. Too cold in the North Pole.
He's throwing me now. This is a really obvious one. Sandals or shoes?
Well, I go sandals, but my wife would kill me for sandals. So I end up having to wear shoes.
Sarah,
so
sandals all day long. What have we got on now?
Trainers.
You know what I'm laughing is because it is October here in the UK and he's here in his shorts. Oh man, put your shorts back on again.
True Brit.
Football or golf? No.
Rich did that one as well, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, change that. Football or rugby?
Oh no, that's it. Rugby, I'm afraid.
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby.
Are you watching the World Cup at the moment?
Yes. Yeah.
Who was that annihilated somebody like 95-0 or something? I mean, no.
Yeah,
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Yeah,
I mean, I do like my sport, I must admit, but in the house at the moment, it's getting a bit sport heavy. Yeah. To be honest,
it's
great. Like every weekend, there's rugby, golf. What is it this week?
Do you know what I love, Joe, about sport? The mentality. The winners.
Do you know what I thought he was going to say then? Do you know what, Joe? I love you.
No, it's that sport. It's all that sport. I definitely wasn't thinking that. I was thinking all that. Another trial.
Carry on thinking that.
And I'm going to go back to sport. I'm going to go back to the Ryder Cup one shot. The very best golf shot I've ever seen.
He didn't deny, did he? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, best shot I've ever seen on tour. Rory's chip shot on Saturday on the 18th from the side of the green. Unbelievable. Yeah, all his peers were laughing and going, "That's impressive."
That was quite.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Rory stood up to it, didn't he?
He manned up. Definitely give that caddy some stick.
Well, next 2 years' time, we're over there.
They did apologise, though, didn't they? Yeah. They did apologise.
Anyway, what I was going to say was
All
then, one more. I was going to say shorts or trousers, but that's obvious, isn't
That's
it?
too easy.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Too easy.
Yeah. Car or tractor?
Oh!
I have to say car because I can't drive many tractors.
No,
I can't.
A farmer can't drive a
No,
tractor.
I
No,
shouldn't be
mean,
admitting that. I know, but I know
Should've
if I
talked to
said
your
I
brother.
could, my brother would say you're a liar. So I'm like, I've got to, and it's on camera, so I've got to do that.
Do you know what? We need to do one of these on the combine harvester, don't we? When we first came to this place, honestly, Julian was like even happier than when he's watching the Ryder Cup. He's like, oh my, was it a combine harvester? Whatever that big machine.
It was, yeah.
Well, I've been around a few golf courses and I've seen a few booms on machines. But these guys knock it out of the park. They're proper booms, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
They're proper
One
machines,
sweep and that's the whole farm done.
Yeah,
Amazing
no,
bit
it
of
is
kit.
a serious bit of kit.
Yeah.
Can we have a go? No, don't. No.
No.
What do you mean
Do you
no?
know, look
You
out
can have a go.
there.
You can sit in the seat. I'm definitely not allowed to drive it. I tell you,
Just
if you were
sit.
driving it before I was driving it, I'd be really annoyed about that.
I'm definitely not going to do that.
I don't
You've been
think.
trying
I
for the
don't
last
think.
40 odd years to
They
do
are
it.
impressive though. Yeah,
I bet you'll let your
that's
sons do it.
awesome.
Anyway, it's now raining. Anyway, so we hope you've enjoyed the show. So Emlyn Evans is going to come on the Pro versus CEO in a
You're
few
going to be
minutes'
that
time.
first one.
Rich Logue, obviously, on the YouTube channel Conversations with Caddies.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know in the comments below. And if you need anything, you know where to find us, www.propergolfing.com or Proper Golfing Academy. We are here to make your golf life easier and more consistent. So pop along and have a look.
Yeah.
So that's it for today.
Great.
Bye.
Take care.
Have
Bye.
a great day. Bye.